So I have my little Pronto plate ready to go, and I want to add a bit of Chine-Collé to the background. Chine-Collé is really a type of collage. It's a technique that printmakers use to get thin sheets of colored paper underneath the ink of their print. So earlier I prepared a little scrap of an old gelatin print with some Elmer's glue. I let the glue dry because it's actually easier to manipulate it on the plate if you're not worried about the glue sticking to your fingers. Now, if I was doing this for my professional work, I wouldn't use Elmer's glue. I would use methyl cellulose. It's a little bit more archival. But for the purpose of this experiment, I've got some Elmer's glue in the classroom and it's going to work just fine. I need a damp piece of paper because the wet paper is going to reactivate the glue. You may have noticed that the first thing I put on my blanket was a little sheet of newsprint. The plate is in the center of the newsprint, and the newsprint is the same size as my printing paper, so it's actually going to work as a registration sheet. I've lined up my paper. I'm going to carefully fold over the blanket and try to keep anything from shifting as I run it through my press. Okay, let's take a peek. I'm pulling off the newsprint. I need to carefully peel off my Pronto plate and try to make sure that the paper sticks where I want it to. And there we go. So now I have a little bit of color behind the foliage at the end of my print. Okay, so really quickly, I just want to show you what it would look like if I were to add a full sheet of color behind the image. So when I say a full sheet, I'm still adding a piece of, I'm using a gelatin print again, a thin sheet of colored paper that's the same size of my plate, but my background paper is going to be a little bit larger so that I can get that nice white border around the image. So I'm inking up the plate. I'm going to transfer it again to the center of that little piece of newsprint. The newsprint is the same size as my background paper. I've got my colored gelatin print. There's glue on the back. I'm putting it down with the glue side up. I need to dampen the paper. You can actually have a pile of damp paper ready ahead of time. It might make the process go a little faster. Line up the paper with the newsprint, fold the blanket over, and run it through the press. Let's see what we've got. I peeled off the newsprint. I'm peeling off the Pronto plate. And there it is. My little gelatin print, which would have ended up in the trash, has now become the background for a nice little nature scene. So there you have it. Pronto plate with Chine-Collé.